Alright, on the last leg of the trip, we had just left El Paso. Beautiful sunrise this morning. We're on the, driving down the border of Texas and Mexico. It's Cibolo Creek Ranch, about 2 hours and 40 minutes.
Sweet home.
Made it.
Made it.
Waterfowl on this trip. It's gonna be fun.
Job done, ladies and gentlemen.
Take two.
Alright, cool. At the range, got targets set up at 400 yards, 700 yards, 1,000 yards. This place is crazy. I feel like I'm on the moon. Got the Christensen NPR 300 Win Mag. Guide told us earlier that it'd be no problem if we wanted to shoot a 30-inch dad. So that's what we're going after tomorrow morning. Keep you posted. All right, morning number one, hunt day number one. Going after some dad this morning. Beautiful sunrise. Got some really good looking breakfast. Some divorced eggs.
Which is what we're gonna do if we keep shooting stuff at her.
Keep you posted. You saw our first rams on the trip. Got a few up here on the skyline. One that we might be able to make a play. Let's go, Big Kern. Don't screw it up. So to give a little backstory on this, it was about a year and a half ago. I'd never done a guided big game hunt before. Done guided waterfowl, but my buddy Brian, he's like, "Hey, you ever thought about going on an aouDAD hunt?" And I was like, "An owl what?" So never even heard of these animals before. So the next year and a half, that's all I do. Start researching, YouTubing these animals, find out that they're native from North Africa, got brought here early 1900s, maybe 1950s. It's kind of up in the air of when they actually got introduced to West Texas. But I said, yes, let's do it. So we got hooked up with Trent Whitesell. He was our guide at Cibolo Creek Ranch. Pretty sure that Trent had some aouDAD blood in him. He grew up hunting these things and could spot them from crazy distances without glass. You could spot them up on the skyline, and then we'd start glassing and find other groups of sheep. Just incredible the way he was able to spot these animals, get a game plan together, and try to harvest one. So highly recommend a guide. You can hunt these animals, do it yourself, but it's tough. They live in really tough terrain. The rocks on the mountain are sharp, unstable. Every plant on the mountain has 3-inch briars. Everything wants to hurt you. So highly recommend gaiters. Highly recommend brush pants. But at the end of the day, it was an incredible hunt. Never been on a hunt like this. I've hunted elk in Colorado, mule deer, Colorado, whitetails in Kentucky. And this hunt was unlike any of those, but I definitely will be back. We'll do it again. It was a really cool hunt. So we saw this group of sheep. Originally, we saw them on the north side of the mountain. They crested the mountain and went down the south side. So we figured we'd take a ATV road, go around the mountain, and see if we could head them off. So we encounter them here. They're probably 1,200, 1,300 yards away. So we set up the glass, and we see a shooter. So trying to put Brian on them, trying to come up with a plan of action. How are we going to get in there to get a shot? And then as these sheep were making their way down the hill, 2 more groups of sheep came in. One group of sheep comes in from the left. One group of sheep came in from the right, and kind of messed us up as far as being able to make a play other than head on. And these animals have incredible eyesight. They're extremely skittish. So if we were to try to make a play on head on, then they're going to be gone pretty quickly. So we glassed this group of sheep and the other 2 groups 3 or 4 hours. This was one of the highlights of the trip, just being able to see these animals. Any a successful hunt is just being able to see the animals. If you're able to harvest one, that's a bonus. And then obviously the work begins, but being able to watch these animals in this environment, just how they were able to move about the mountain with such ease. And there's not a lot of vegetation and there's not a lot of water. And these animals have thrived in West Texas. We're close to the Chinati Mountains. I think I'm saying that right. Probably not. But just being able to watch them was really cool. Again, like we glassed them 3 or 4 hours, and just I could have sat there all day. But unfortunately, we had no play to make at this point, so we just sit and watched them. I mean, typically it's like elk hunting. You don't leave elk to go find elk, so we didn't leave sheep to go find sheep. We kept glassing as long as we could until they went to bed, or put them to bed for their little afternoon nap. And at that point, Trent said, "Okay, hey, go get some lunch. We know where they're at. Come back in a couple hours. Hopefully they'll be up stirring around. Make their way over to the west ridge and try to make a play on one of the other side." The problem is on the other side, straight up and down rock bluffs. These animals just being able to navigate that, really cool to see, and just in that environment. but our big shooter here, you can see him. He's following that U. So aouDADs go through 2 ruts. Primary ruts like September, October-ish, and then they have another rut in February. Trent did make a comment today. Best time to hunt these animals is September, October. Unfortunately, that lines up with elk season in Colorado, so don't know if I'll trade that one off. But a couple little babies, little lambs in there, following around. Probably their mom. The ewes, typically the ewes will have twins when they do give birth. But yeah, just more videos of them. Got a small ram, couple ewes behind them, little lamb sitting there. So this is right as Brian had just took a shot. It was about 700 yards, really tough angle. But there really couldn't get any closer to them. They already had spotted us. So I may or may not have encouraged him to take that shot. But this video, like I said, straight up and down the rock bluffs and cliffs. And these suckers just cruise around like they're wearing Air Jordans. Like no problem at all. So Brian took the shot. It was probably 6 inches high, probably a little bit more. I'm trying to give him benefit of the doubt. But again, 700 yards, really steep angle, upward shot. A little high. So we knew these sheep weren't going to come off of this ridge, this mountain. So we said, okay, hey, we'll go try some different areas. The ranch is 32,000 plus acres, so plenty of different opportunity to go find sheep. So we cruised around, found other groups of sheep, some smaller rams, no shooters. It's really funny. Like I'd glass one up, and Trent probably already seen it for like 5 minutes. He's like, "Yeah, it's not a shooter. Keep moving." So this is the next morning. This is day 2. We planned on going straight back to the point where we saw that shooter from day 1 morning, and we're like, "Okay, let's go find him. Hopefully, we can make a play." So obviously, you can't see anything here in this picture, but we're able to glass him up first thing in the morning at first light. We saw the shooter that Brian was going after, and we saw 3 other shooters with a couple of different groups of sheep right below the skyline and the rock cliff that you can see here. At that point, we're about 2,200 yards away, and heavy winds, so 20-30 mile an hour winds. I don't even know what the gusts were, but it was a windy morning. And so we're trying to figure out, okay, how do we make a play on these suckers? Do we try to go up on top, shoot down? And finally I told Trent, I said, hey, look, man, if we gotta put packs on and hike our way in there and to be able to get a shot, like, let's do it. And he's like, okay, all I need to know. So we drove down about 500 yards. As the crow flies, we were probably, 1,700 yards away from them at this point. But we stayed in the drainages so they couldn't see us. We couldn't see them. And then finally, we got up to the last ridge, and the sheep were still there. They didn't see us, and we knew we were going to be able to make a play. So Brian got set up. His sheep was about 200 yards away, and one shot, boom, lights out, drops his shooter. I try to get on the next shooter, but he's gone. So there's another group of sheep to the left. They're kind of like, hey, something's weird going on here. But they weren't on the move, so I get set up on them. I get a shot on a good ram, and he peels off, starts working his way back down the mountain, gets behind a boulder, and then Brian gives us a little commentary here.
All right, I'm making a video for Charlie's documentary. So far, I smoked my ram with one shot. Trent told me to get out of the way because I hit him so good. Charlie tagged his, but we're still trying to put him out of his misery. We'll keep you guys updated on how everything goes.
Brian was fortunate enough to have a broadside shot at 250 yards, and the sheep didn't know we were there. Me, not so much. I had to hit a moving target, and we'll call it 275, maybe 300 yards. So he gets behind a rock. He comes back out. I got about a 12-inch window, and Trent says, hey, if you got the shot, he's like, let it rip. So I feel pretty confident about it. Let it rip, and he drops.
All right, we got Charlie's down right there. And just a short stroll up. Mine right there. 2 dad brothers hanging out.
So after I tagged mine, we got lucky, and he started working his way down to the ram that Brian shot. Trent later told us that if you got two big rams like that, if one goes down, the other one will try to go over there and start messing with them. But just really cool how it worked out. We're able to get pictures together. Trent, again, shout out to you, man. What an incredible hunt. Little video of the pack out. Yeah, it was pretty brutal. I don't know. It's probably 2 miles. I thought the wind was going to blow us off the mountain. Had to cross over, barbed wire fence. Pretty sure I thought I was just going to tumble down the hill at that point. But at this point, work was over. We had a job to do. We got it done. And then it turned into just fun. We got the shotguns on the truck. We did some quail hunting. Here's a picture of the axis I was able to tag. And then got a cool video of a black buck that Brian was able to tag in a really nice whitetail in this video as well. So I didn't get the original shot with Brian, but I got set up a little late. I'm kind of new to this whole video and hunting thing. But that's okay. It was a lot of fun. So you see the black buck, he bedded down there, and then boom, there's a big whitetail. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll go back to Cibolo and do some whitetail hunting. But again, really cool experience. But this was just, let's have some fun. Let's go shoot some more stuff, and we'll call it a weekend. So nice black buck that Brian was able to harvest later on. Brian gave a nose piercing to an axis deer, but really cool axis that was still in velvet. And that was our hunt at Cibolo Creek Ranch for aouDAD Camp 2026. Hope you enjoyed.